Have you ever walked into a room, said something, and immediately wished the ground would swallow you whole? Or maybe you tripped in public, and for the next week you replay that moment in your head, over and over and over again. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. In fact, our brains are basically embarrassment machines. They are wired to replay our most awkward moments. But why? Why does your mind insist on dragging you back to that cringe-worthy memory at the worst possible times? Today, we're diving deep into why your brain keeps replaying embarrassing moments, exploring negativity bias, the self-threat response, and the false spotlight effect. And, I promise, by the end of this video, you will finally understand why you keep torturing yourself mentally. The first reason your brain replays embarrassing moments is something called negativity bias. Humans are hardwired to pay more attention to negative experiences than positive ones. From an evolutionary standpoint, this made perfect sense. Imagine early humans in the wild. One encounter with a predator could mean death, forgetting danger, not an option. Your brain stores negative memories more vividly because it thinks, hey, if we learn from this, we might survive next time. So, when you embarrass yourself, like spilling coffee on a date, tripping in front of your classmates, or sending a message to the wrong person, your brain treats it as a threat to your social survival. It replays that moment, not to punish you, but to make sure you don't make the same mistake again. Unfortunately, the result is that you relive the embarrassment repeatedly, sometimes for days, weeks, or even years. Think about it. Do you replay compliments the same way you replay mistakes? Usually not. Why? Because your brain focuses on what went wrong, not what went right. That's negativity bias in action. Next up is something called the self-threat response. Your brain treats social embarrassment like a threat to your survival, but in a slightly different way than negativity bias. When you feel embarrassed, your brain interprets it as a danger to your self-image or reputation. Think about this. In a social group, being judged or rejected could mean losing status, allies, or resources. Even though we live in the 21st century, our brains are still wired to see social threats as serious business. Here's what happens when you do something embarrassing. Your amygdala, brain's threat detection center, lights up like a Christmas tree. It sends signals to the hippocampus, which is responsible for storing memories. The result? Your brain stores the embarrassing memory in high definition, complete with all the feelings of shame, awkwardness, and anxiety. Your brain isn't trying to torture you, it's trying to protect you from future social threats. But here's the catch. Most of the time, these threats aren't real anymore. That tripped on stage moment, the audience probably forgot it 5 seconds later, but your brain still seeing it as a life or death social disaster. If negativity bias and self-threat response aren't enough, there's another reason: the false spotlight effect. This is the tendency to overestimate how much other people notice our mistakes or awkward moments. You walk into a room, spill your drink, and instantly think, everyone is staring at me. They'll never forget this. But in reality, most people are focused on themselves, their own coffee, their own thoughts, or their own awkward moments. The false spotlight effect inflates your sense of social visibility, making minor mistakes feel catastrophic. Your brain exaggerates the importance of the embarrassment, which is why the memory keeps looping in your head. In short, you think everyone is judging you, but they're mostly not. Your mind is playing tricks, making a tiny slip-up feel like a public humiliation. Now, I know what you're thinking. If my brain is just trying to protect me, why does it feel like torture? Here's the thing. These mechanisms worked well for survival in our evolutionary past, and they still have some benefits today. Negativity bias helps you learn from mistakes so you can avoid repeating them. Self-threat response helps you monitor your behavior and maintain your social image. False spotlight effect encourages social mindfulness (CIT), pushes you to be aware of your actions in front of others. The problem is, modern life is very different from prehistoric life. A minor embarrassment today doesn't threaten your survival, but your brain treats it like it does. That's why these memories keep replaying even when they don't need to. So, what can you do to stop this mental replay loop? Here are a few strategies. Reality check. Ask yourself, is anyone actually thinking about this, or is it just me? Usually, it's just you. Shift focus. Engage in activities that absorb your attention. Exercise, hobbies, or creative work. Reframe the memory. Instead of seeing it as catastrophic, see it as funny, human, and a learning experience. Mindfulness practice. Notice when your mind replays the memory, but let it pass without judgment. Remember, everyone experiences embarrassing moments, and most people forget them almost immediately. Your brain is just trying to protect Ubuntu with a little awareness. You can train it to let go faster. So next time you find yourself replaying an embarrassing moment, remember, it's negativity bias making the memory stick. It's your self-threat response, treating it like a danger. And it's the false spotlight effect, making you feel like everyone noticed the good news. You're not alone, and it's completely normal. Understanding why your brain does this is the first step to finally letting go. If you want more tips on how to stop your brain from obsessing over cringe moments, stick around for our next video where we dive into practical exercises that calm your mental replay loop.